If you can't tell, I'm just very late to this video. I don't know, maybe like a few months late, but whatever. Anyways, it's been a long time ever since Mad City Chapter 2 Season 2 has released. But if you for some reason don't know what this vehicle is, it's called the Edgerunner. It's similar to the commutator in which you have to level up in order to obtain like upgrades for it, of course. And my, do I have a lot to say about the prestige system. But this is not about that anyway, so let's move on to a different part. As with what you do with similar level 100 vehicles nowadays in Chapter 2, you have to talk to an NPC right over to the Swifty Studios HQ. This area is relatively nearby to the bank. This is where you upgrade your level 100 vehicles for the season. Anyways, speaking of upgrades, I'm just gonna go ahead and show you all the variants of the Edgerunner, starting with the first variant. Section number 1, the variants of the Edgerunner. Starting off with the Prestige 0 level 100 Edgerunner. It doesn't have anything special really, it's mostly just your usual plain looking vehicle. Also, it's not even that fast, so yeah. On to the next variant anyways. Next up, we have the Prestige 1 level 100 Edgerunner. The only difference is that it has this supercharger hood engine thing. Anyways, on to the next variant. And oh hey, it's the Prestige 2 level 100 Edgerunner, which actually makes it look kinda cool looking. It adds this window grill in front of the windows of the Edgerunner, obviously. It also adds this front light grill, and lastly this roof light on top of it. Let's see if the next variant can compare. And oh my god, it's a fire hazard. They added anyways, this is the Prestige 3 level 100 Edgerunner. It pretty much just adds these giant gas looking tanks behind the rear of the Edgerunner, and also these nitro pumps, I guess, in front of the Edgerunner also. Overall, it's pretty okay, but it also removes the ability to add spoilers, so okay, on to the next variant anyways. Here is the Prestige 4 level 100 Edgerunner. Pretty much only raises the suspension of the vehicle and also adds some wheel brows to the rear wheels. It doesn't really change much, I guess. Anyways, I know what you're here for. You're here for the last variant, aren't you? Anyway, sure. Last variant. Behold! The Prestige 5 level 100 Edgerunner, which is quite literally the only variant slash version of the Edgerunner that you should grind for. Prestige 0 to Prestige 5 Edgerunners are completely garbage. Well, not completely garbage, but they're pretty much not something you would want to use. Pretty much this version of the Edgerunner adds in the main thing, the turret, and also like recolors the rear tanks and the nitro pumps pretty much. Now that you have seen all the variants of the Edgerunner, how about a little speed test? Section number 2, speed capabilities. This is gonna be a speed test between the V6 Edgerunner, the Knight Rider, and the 066 Terminator. Let's go! Well, it looks like the Edgerunner came in second, right after the Knight Rider. Now, to be fair to the Edgerunner, it's actually not built for speed necessarily. It's built for combat. Section number 3, combat capabilities. So this turret slash harpoon gun of the Edgerunner does 35 damage towards players and 70 damage towards vehicles. The Edgerunner's turret actually fires rather quickly, making it rather more viable for ground targets. A thing to note though is that it's pretty much terrible against aerial vehicles such as helicopters. But let's be real, if you're going to take down aerial vehicles with an Edgerunner, then you're probably messing around, because there's no way on earth you're not gonna use a Knight Rider over an Edgerunner to take down aerial vehicles. Unless you're specifically hunting down aerial vehicles, in which case I guess you should have just bought the incinerator instead. One important thing to note about the Edgerunner in particular is that the drifting slash handling is kinda slippery, man. For some reason, sometimes when I drive it, it just starts swerving into a different direction I didn't want it to go to. So yeah, I don't think it's that great for drifting and whatnot, but oh well. And would you look at that, we are at our concluding statement section. So, do I think you should grind for the Edgerunner? Yeah, you definitely should if you mainly focus on like player versus player, aka PvP combat, ground combat with other players and whatnot. It's way more viable than that, I guess. If you were for some reason looking for speed, this is not the vehicle to buy or use at all. You should have just bought like something like the Knight Rider, I guess, if you wanted to go fast while still like combating people. But still, this is one of the best vehicles in the game right now, so there's not really something to complain about. Other than the fact that I do think it needs like some sort of vehicle HP buff, since the V3 variant quite literally adds in like window grills, which is pretty much just vehicle armor to the Edgerunner, which should logically increase the HP by a little bit, but for some reason it doesn't do that. Anyways, what do you think about the Edgerunner? Is it bad? Is it terrible? Wait, those are the exact same things, and is it great pretty much? Comment down below. Or don't, because I barely get any attention on these videos at all. Anyway, see you later in 2 more years, or months, or weeks, I don't know.